And if you are joining us on Instagram, Dr. Charles Ayoka, proud to joining us or proud to finding us at the academy or at iTrain Africa at 32 years of experience. And I remember one of our very first chats when he first came to us, like the 2023, I think, was like, I was like, okay, he has 32 years of experience. He's a doctor. Do you understand? As in, how are we going to help people with so much experience? Because they've been there, they've done that. But then I always say something that there's a common misconception where people think that global opportunities ends with your age. Whereas once you've crossed a particular age, many people just always assume that, okay, you don't have your right to still be seeking global opportunities or to seeking second of opportunities. And I'm like, what? Like, what do I do with all my experience? What do I do with it? Do you understand? So I have a right to get global opportunities irrespective of my years of experience. So when Dr. Charles came to us, I was really excited to take on that challenge because as at the time, it was the one person that I had worked with. We had not launched the WFS and the People Work Academy. I simply used to work with professionals with years of experience to be able to secure global opportunities of different kinds, be it jobs, international speaking engagement, and things like that. And for his own, I was like, oh shit, like 32 years experience in the oil and gas was a tall order for me. But I am that person that likes to take on challenges because I believe that a framework is a framework. How do I mean a framework is a framework? It doesn't matter if the person is old or young. If you design a framework that works, it means that it doesn't matter the profession, the career path, the years of experience, it should work for everyone. And so I think I was really excited to see if Dr. Charles, with his years of experience, the framework was still going to work. And I'm excited that today we are interviewing him on Zoom for him to talk about how he found us in the first place, what brought him to the academy, at what time did he then decide to join the GOP, and after joining the GOP, what next, what happened next, and things like that. So welcome once again, Dr. Charles. You can now unmute yourself. I've done a quick introduction and everyone here is happy to listen to you. If you are joining us on Instagram, you can also join us on Zoom. How do you join us on Zoom? You can just send us a message right now in the DM and we would send you the link to this Zoom meeting and you can join us on Zoom. So welcome, Dr. Charles. Please unmute yourself and introduce yourself, who you are, and a quick rundown of your career journey before now.
Thank you. I appreciate this opportunity you are giving me to speak today. My name is Dr. Charles Ayoka. I actually, after my graduation from higher institution and my youth service, I actually worked at a Towa Aluminium Rolling Mill in Sangota for just 6 months. And after that, I got employed with Shell. So I worked in Shell for 24 years in drilling. Basically, I became an expert in drilling and I retired earlier, which I wished happened, and it did happen that I worked for that 24 years. After my retirement, I came to Lagos and worked for Nekonde, another oil company, as the assistant drilling manager. I left them and I worked for Lake Oil as drilling manager. I left them, I worked for another company, Aeroton, as well project manager. I also completed that project and I worked for Etihad as drilling manager. Since then, I've been consulting. However, I got called by those companies based on what they knew about me. So that's my journey, my experience as an oil and gas expert.
Thank you so much, Dr. Charles, for giving us a quick rundown.
Currently I'm the managing director of MSM Oil and Gas.
Okay, thank you so much for giving us a quick journey about your oil and gas career path. Now, here is the thing, because of course you are here. So what it means is, I'm sure some people are already wondering, like, oh shit, 24 years of career in Shell. Then what, as in, because that's always what people always think about, like, okay, what is this person looking for after working, whether it is a Shell, a Chevron, why are they still seeking global opportunities? I'm sure that is on some people's mind right now, like, okay, can we just get answer to the obvious thing and all that? So basically, at the time that you came into our inbox, like, in 2023, as in what brought you there into our inbox? You said the last thing you said right now is that all the jobs you were getting was because somebody was, telling you or recommending you to the next person or something. As in after you left Shell, that was what you said. But then something brought you to iTrain Africa at the time you wanted to say, oh, I am seeking global opportunities. So please walk us through that journey. What brought you to us and how did you even find us? Maybe before, what brought you to us?
Yeah, what really brought me to, learn under your feet. Actually knew that I had quite a lot of stuff inside me. I headed our learning and development. So when it comes to training, like what you're doing and developing people, I was the head of a shared learning and development and training people and certifying them. So that skill is there. I still worked in the field as an assistant driller, which means I grew up from the rank, managing our drilling operations from the cradle to grass, if you like. So that experience there, we call it hands-on experience. And then I came to the office and worked at other levels. So when it comes to expertise, is there I have that expertise. Not only am I able to deliver work as planned, I also develop people. But however, there's always an epic of one's career where you want to get to. You don't want to be an engineer only or a senior person or a manager. The epic is because being a managing director where you are not only doing the work, but you're managing the assets, you're managing people, you're managing the operations. You're managing basically everything, equipment to deliver on target for the company that, that will take you at that position. So I wasn't seeing that going to happen if I don't market myself, if people don't see, my CV and see me who I am. At the end of the day, I got to hear about you, and also I started to make some inquiries, and I got to LinkedIn and YouTube to research more. I like researching. Anything I want to do, I usually would like to research about it. So I went to
I know.
research. So I was convinced when I saw the way you were delivering training and imparting, I saw there was a passion in you to do what you were doing. So I decided to register in the GOP, Global Opportunities Program, and then the PPP, the professional aspect of it, and started learning under your feet. And there were quite few things that, again, one of it, you made us to know that one need to update your CV professionally. We need to also update our profile on LinkedIn, a social media generally, but especially LinkedIn. One need to update your banner page. That's the heading. One also need to know how to write a post and so on and so forth. Quite a lot of things you listed, and those things to me were quite interesting because I needed to get those experiences, and I went on acquiring those experiences, and the rest is history.
Thank you very much for running us through that journey. And I like the part where you said that anything you want to put your resources into, whether it is your time or your money, you like to research it because it is key. I always tell people that when people say they got this program, the program doesn't work or something, I say, oh, you probably did not do enough of research before getting that thing, because it is your work first to do research if you are going to invest your resources, which includes time and money, especially for someone who is very busy. I would say you can part with money, right? You may be able to part with money, but parting with your time can be really, really, I don't want to part with my time and realize that I still didn't achieve my goal in terms of the things that I really want to achieve through whatever it is I'm trying to pursue. I like to ensure that if I'm going to part with my time, that person had better rewarded. So I would typically do a lot of research and I want to learn from someone. There's a particular person I'm currently learning from on YouTube, Alex Amozi, like he's such a great marketing expert and coach and all that stuff. And the first thing I did before narrowing down to, okay, I'm going to use my weekend to be watching 1-2 hours of this guy was, I went on research. I said, I do not have the luxury of time to be listening to nonsense or what I already know. I want to learn what I don't know. So I invest half my time, just like you, on doing research, so that by the time I now finally narrow down to learning, I'm learning from the right person. Now, let's now go to, you said what brought you here was the fact that you realized that if you had to get to the pinnacle of your career, you had to get to the apex, being an MD of an organization, you wanted to get that kind of top tier opportunity. You realized that you needed to do more beyond word of mouth. You needed to then go after it and put yourself out there to be seen as that person who can serve in that capacity. And I like that, because that is what I see many experienced people don't realize. They toil and toil and toil and toil and toil, and they end their career because they feel like somebody will put in a word for them to get to the apex. Like, does it work? Yes. Are there gatekeepers in the professional world? Yes. But I always say, please take note that at the top, it gets thinner. At the top, it gets narrower. At the very top is only one person that is going to sit there. And what are you doing differently to ensure that if they are left with two people, you are their only obvious choice? And that is where, like, the extra comes in. Not because you don't already have the experience, you have the experience. Not because you don't already have the skills, you built that at the start of your career, right? But you need more than skills and experience to get to the pinnacle of your career. You need to be seen as an authority in that field. You need to be seen as having like a brand, a personal brand, that if you are an addition to that company, and people see you like you are an addition in terms of image and branding to that company. So that's what people do. And I think I mentioned it a lot on GOP, that CEO, what brought you here cannot take you there. Skills is first few years of your career and everything. When you get to the middle of your career, I say you need to start gaining more than skills. You need to start learning things like, let me say, managerial stuff, and things like project management, able to manage people. I say when you get to the next level, you want to add some extra international certifications so that you just look good. And when you now get to the next level, you need to bring more than that. You need to bring a personal brand and network to the table. And that is where a lot of people get stuck in the middle of their career. They never pass and progress to the premium opportunities. Now, on you coming into GOP, because I know you made a lot of inquiries in our DM, that I remember. You made a lot of inquiries now, because why do I say so? I remember whenever the conversations are typically top tier, when I say top tier conversations, like, you would know a person that is very informed, who does research before they buy a product, the kind of questions they ask us in the DM. I remember that question, Moina came to say, Ma, this person's this. And I think technically Moina was just scared, like, this person said he has 32 years of experience. What are they going to now use GOP for? And I smiled and I said, okay, here's what's going to happen. I remember I had to give her a long lecture that particular day to say, see, Moina, a framework works, whether the person has 2 years or the person has 35 years of experience. A framework, it is designed, it is tested to stand the test of number of years of experience. So far the person follows it, it is the same thing, it is going to work. And I had to then tell her, how to respond to that and things like that. Now, you came on the GOP, you finally decided, you got on the GOP. What would you say were when you first got into the GOP, of course, you've gone through the entire PPP framework. What were your key highlights about the framework itself? Like, what stood out for you in the learning process and in the content of the program?
Yeah, what stood out for me very clearly was your passion. You spent quite a lot of time. You weren't bothered on how long will each of your training take. All that was important for you was to complete that section. If it is a first person profile, for example, or first person marketing and all that, you keep teaching it, giving examples, and not only that, you give us assignments, and you want us to do that. So we want to even see the assignment to check if the person had done it correctly. And that, for me, that was quite good and an excellent spirit brought into play in developing people. So I was following up, and I like, they say practice make perfect. So each of those things, those assignments, I was doing them, and you will check it. I remember my personal banner, LinkedIn banner. I did it and put my picture. I sent it to you to review, and you reviewed it and made some few comments and came out as an excellent work. You sent in with the CV, the profile itself. But the one that was even most remarkable for me was writing a post. There were
The
quite a lot
vision
of
in the
things.
article.
You know, the way we write a post is just as if you're writing letter, writing a project, writing research papers, you know.
Research papers.
Writing a professional post on LinkedIn is a different
Okay.
ball game. Yeah, and then you made us to know the things that are very important that we needed to mention in writing a post. And so I went through it. And I wrote my first post and sent it to you, made some few corrections and said that at least then I wrote the second post and I was very happy when I delivered and you know, posted that my write up on LinkedIn. You know, any person, people were making comments and all that. So that was it. And at the end of the day, I came out with a LinkedIn profile. I was professionally written. I came up with a banner, LinkedIn banner. That made looking at the banner only now, even as it is, you see my small picture, then you just know everything about me. And then also you taught us how to also put your CV so people can download it, and also how to package yourself on LinkedIn and
The cover
write
letter
a
and all
portion.
that.
So I did all that, and that was it. But what was very interesting to me was after that, it wasn't long, I started getting comments, getting an invitation and calls. They want me to come and do this work. Even outside Nigeria, I was getting calls to come and manage of course, I'm the type that's selective as well too. As an oil and gas expert person, it's not every person that will invite me that I will
You
take the
answer. Yeah.
because I really want people that are serious company that has plans and targets so that I can go there and make a change. So luckily, I got one company that called me from Abuja. They saw my LinkedIn. All of them were people that saw me on LinkedIn. They didn't know me. They've not seen me before. So one company just called me, and that's MSM, the MSM group. They called me from Abuja that they want to see me now. They're going to book a flight for me to come to Abuja. I said, wow, I don't know this company. So why must I come to Abuja? If you want to ask about me or interview me, we can do that. Because they said, no, we want to see you first. We've seen your CV. I think you are the right person. Wow. So I started to research about the company as usual.
So they grab your
And
CV off your LinkedIn. How I asked you to pin it. Like they grab it off your LinkedIn.
yeah, that's it. So
Wow.
I asked them that I would like to get in touch with the chairman. I want to speak with the main person. So within 30 minutes, the chairman was on virtually on Zoom. I should come in. Then we spoke, and I was satisfied that they were serious. And my research about them was positive. So I said, okay. They said they want to book your flight the following day to be in Abuja. So I gave the go ahead. I was going to Abuja really, to meet a company we've not seen before just because they saw everything about me in LinkedIn, which was the output of your training that you did for us, which I implemented, that gave that excellent LinkedIn profile. So I went to Abuja, and then immediately somewhere discussing, say, you are my MD. I said, how will you just see me for the first? He said, no, I know you have the capability and capacity. So they showed me some things other people did. So going through that, I told them that this group of people spent 7 days to do that. I will do it less than a day. They were looking at me. You mean what about 7 people came to do in 7 days? I said, yes, because I know the truth I'm better. So they said, okay, within 2 hours, I finished 2 of that. There were 3 things, and I presented it instantly. So, wow. The chairman and every other one said, look, it's all over. You are my MD. And that was it. So they made me the MD of MSM Oil and Gas. And it's been quite good. We've opened an office in Lagos. We've commissioned the office, and we're everywhere, even in newspapers. We've commissioned the office, and things are working out well. And I believe by God's grace, we're working on some projects now, and there will be more coming. And the company, the chairman's heart is to help our nation, Nigeria. And he found me as a person that's in a better position to also help me to achieve that, increase our oil production, support development of personnel in Nigeria, get increase in gas supply, energy, and so on and so forth. So that's exactly what I'm positioned to do, and I'm doing it rightly. And by God's grace, the
Amazing.
company will get to their plan and
Amazing,
targets.
amazing, amazing. I'm super, super excited. I'm super excited. I'm super excited because, there was something you said there that you said, based on my level of experience and everything, it is like I was getting calls from home and abroad. But here's the thing, I'm selective because of my level of experience and what I now know. And you said, like, you need to choose like what you actually want to be a part of. You need to choose. And as I was just here, I was smiling because the last person we interviewed, Dr. Betty, she's from Uganda. That was the exact same thing she said. I was saying, she was like, Doc, I even got an opportunity. I said, but Doc, you remember you told us on the program that, see, like you will get opportunities. Don't be in a hurry to accept everything that comes to you. As in, I was, if it doesn't align with your values and where you are going to, decline. And I remember somebody asked on that program then, when people were still on the program, like, hey, Doc, are you weird? Are you never attracted one? You're saying, I said, the truth is, what I have taught you will attract you multiple opportunities. That's one I know. You just need to be able to decide on which one aligns with my future. Because again, if you remember the exercise I taught you at the beginning of the program, which was a clarity exercise, I said it will help you be clear about what you want to be known for, what you want to spend the next 10, 15, whatever years of your life do. You would know, you would understand, and you would stick to it and all that. And so when you said now that, I just smiled, like Dr. Betty said the same thing, and she's in the medical field, right? As in, she was like, Doc, an opportunity came to me. I just looked at it, that not because it was not good, it wasn't just where I wanted to go. And he said, I just took it and gave it to a junior colleague to benefit from that opportunity. The person he also spoke to before Dr. Betty, like in a previous interview, had a similar experience. As I remember Professor Fumi then, that was the same thing she said, Doc, opportunities came to me. He said, Doc, but you remember you said it's not everything you take. And she did one interview from the UK then, and she said, Doc, I declined it because I needed to do certain things at my university before I then, be able to take all those extra adjunct lecturing in abroad and things like that. And I'm just smiling because I'm sure someone here is listening to that and is saying, is it possible that you're actually declining international opportunity? You can actually decline an international opportunity depending on if it doesn't serve you for where you need to be. And there is something you also said that they had seen you on LinkedIn. One of the things I think I mentioned during your set was, I said, make yourself easily reachable. Even in designing your framework, I said, some professionals are looking for opportunities, but they are not easily reachable. And I say, I do not, of course, mean your phone number or something, but you said something about your banner. You said, my banner is just up there, like everything you need me, you can reach me and things. Then make yourself easily reachable. You'll be shocked that on a platform such as LinkedIn, some people say, hey, I don't want them. So I said, who is spamming you on LinkedIn? Do you understand? Like serious people reach out. Again, what you put out determines what they reach out to you for. You kept saying something. You said the articles you put out, they were just good. You started getting comments on them because again, what you put out determines what you attract. And the last thing that I would want to comment on what you just said is, you said the article is way different from academic papers and it is still not regular social media posts. It is not the far extreme. Like social media posts is like for jokes and the academic is too serious. Like LinkedIn is a different breed of content in terms of how you write the kind of articles you write. And I always tell people that even if I say so myself, there are only very few people that know how to write the kind of thing that is going to bring them the opportunities that they desire on LinkedIn. It is that writing, understanding the 7 things and the elements. If it's, remember, I kept saying, these are the 12 things that must be included in your article. And they must be included in this order. They must, like, it doesn't matter the article you are writing. It doesn't matter the industry you are. It doesn't matter your years of experience. if you can incorporate these 12 major elements and you can put these things there, you don't even have to write always. As I'm sure if I ask you now, like, how many articles did you write before those people started to comment and reach out? Dr. Charles, like, how many articles will you say you put out before those opportunities started pouring in?
Just 3 articles. Like the Millennium Goals was one of the things you taught us has to be there. I had to select which one is my own. I never knew that before. It was quite interesting. And let me also say this. Well, I was in Benin. Just immediately I was taken. I went to Benin to carry out a project which has to do with a study of one of the oil fields. While I was there with one of the staff from the same company, I got an offer straight into my phone to come and become the MD of that company. With they put the price what they will pay me right there. So, and as soon as I landed, I showed it to the guy. It was just by my side. The man said, "Wow, within 1 week, cannot off again on my phone." I showed him. I said, "We have to call chairman that look, people want to poach your man."
Your
So I said,
person.
"No, I'm a man of integrity. I've accepted to work, so I can't jump in and jump out until I deliver the project."
What
But
you
at least it showed me that people
people
were
are
looking at the
interested.
LinkedIn profile.
Exactly.
They were really
3
seeing what these
articles.
two are made up of.
Imagine
Yeah.
3 articles. Whenever I tell professionals that tell us, because one of the objections we get a lot when we say you should register now or why you should start now, people will say, I don't have time. And I say, hey, you don't have time for your own personal development. Please, whatever is making you not have time, is it rewarding enough? Like, because the way I think about having time in the logical way is I always say, if I want to achieve a goal that can help me achieve the bigger thing I want, it means that I know that where I'm currently at, I should get better things than that thing. So it means that I do not really like maybe not the word like, but maybe not like, but I really want to get to the next thing. I said, but you are currently here. That thing that is keeping you here is not making you have time for the next place you want to get to. Please explain it to me. That is like, it is a no-brainer that you should say, you know what? The reason why I'm here is because of this other thing that I'm currently doing. So whatever it is I do, for me to get to the next stage, I must create out time for that thing. Because I always say, if you are not comfortable with where you are, then that thing is tagged also. It is not really where you want to be. I said, so your also is keeping you stuck. You cannot create time for the place you want to be, really. Then you are moving around in circles because you would never leave that place. Because again, your growth is dependent on how much knowledge you have. And if there is one thing I always tell people, I say, I'm that kind of person that got into that stage that I hate trial and error. Like, if I want to do something, I go find who has done it. I pay them for their time or for whatever knowledge is in their head, and I get it done. I do not have time because time is really money. It's even more than money. Like, time is life. So, like, that's what I always tell people, like, see, you don't have time. Why don't you take out 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 1 hour daily, spend it in GOP, spend it on my program, and tell yourself that is the only amount of time you need to invest this year, or maybe even for the next 2-3 years to get what you need. Are you telling me that 1 hour a day for 6 weeks is too much to invest in your future self? Like, it doesn't add up in my head, because whenever I explain this, I say, you should. 3 articles, because at the end of the day, once you learn how to write those articles, it takes you lesser time. I know the first one
Yes.
Dr. Parks wrote took him a longer time to write, but by the second one, it was easier. And he just had to write 3. 3. And he's like he said, he got opportunity and he was still getting, even while as he had accepted one, he was still getting. Why? He was not writing more articles. Though. The article was good enough. It contained the right keywords for his industry. It contained everything that even months after you've written that article, the opportunities are still coming from one article. There's a particular kind I have that was got into to become an AGM of a bank. While she worked with me, we wrote only one article. I think I tell people that LinkedIn is quality over quantity. Spend your time in doing the work once, and you will continually reap the reward of that. The opportunities don't stop. Like, they don't stop. In fact, you would have to actually demarket. over a period of time. When I say demarket, like remove certain things from your profile. Most of my clients, when they are done getting opportunities, they change their banner. No, Dr. Charles, I'm sure one of the reasons you are still getting opportunities is your banner. Like most of my clients change their banner. Like they just change it to, you know, what I call the status quo kind of banner. If you remember on the program, I said there's a marketing kind of profile and there's a status quo. Like they just change it to a status quo kind of banner. So people start reaching out to them. Like, because they don't want to have to keep saying, I don't want kind of thing. So I'm really excited that the opportunities, because one thing it did for you was validate. Like, not just, I did not land that first job by chance. You didn't land it by chance. Like the fact that the opportunities kept coming even after you started validated for you that should this person want to do me anyhow? Like I know exactly what I'm going to do next to get the next opportunity. I am not afraid of being in this place. It is a good feeling. Like I always tell people, it is a good feeling when you know that, see, I'm not stuck. I just don't want the next thing yet. I am who I am. I know my value, and I'm going to collect the what's in terms of this thing. Now, Dr. Charles, you've been with this company, and I think for about I think you said you joined last year September. I can't remember when you said you joined. You joined last year September. You've been with them, and you are loving what you are doing. You said you were able to do a task 2 hours. What some people came to do in 7 days.
Is it possible to get just 1 minute break?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. So I'll just be here. Please go ahead. So if you are here, you are listening to us. We've been talking to Dr. Charles Ayoka, who is an alumni of the Global Opportunities Program. And Dr. Charles Ayoka, before he came on GOP, had 32 years working experience in the oil and gas. He mentioned also that at the start of his career, he had spent 6 months in one oil and gas. Then he went from that place to spend 24 years in drilling of Shell. Yes, the popular Shell, you know. Then he left there and worked for 3 other oil and gas organizations before it then came to us on GOP. If you are also listening, Dr. Charles also mentioned that at that point, he wanted to get to the apex of the career, meaning I wanted to be managing director. And I always tell people that a lot of people may be able to teach you about LinkedIn. I am not a LinkedIn coach. I am a global opportunities expert, meaning that when you are ready for the opportunities that many people don't know how to help you get, you come to me because I understand global opportunities as a whole, not just LinkedIn optimization as a platform. In fact, our PPP framework covers 5 different things. LinkedIn is just one of the 5 things. It starts from with the clarity, then with the profile building, with the LinkedIn optimization, with writing positioning articles, then optimizing the opportunities that come to you. So it is only a middle pillar that LinkedIn is. It is a more comprehensive program than optimizing LinkedIn. When you are ready for premium program opportunities like Dr. Charles's own, you come to us. Now, Dr. Charles, I think the next question I have for you would be, given your level of experience, you would say you've achieved your pinnacle in terms of job. Are you looking to explore also using the PPP framework, like what you're currently doing, to get other categories of global opportunities, which could be, speaking engagements and all those consulting and things like that? Are you looking to use it to explore other categories of global opportunities aside the job that is already in the pocket? And if you are looking to, or maybe has it even started to happen that you're attracting other categories of global opportunities beside jobs?
Yeah, thank you for that question. I was actually going to say it if you didn't, if you weren't going to come up with the question. I believe in learning and upskilling yourself. And I multitask, and I believe in the modern world we are living now, people have to learn to multitask. Don't depend on one stream of income. I think that's the usual acronym. One stream. Okay. Yeah, I've actually registered in another one. I can't remember the name, but I went to Seller, saw the courses. I started, but I've not finished it. Yes.
Oh.
So I think I was in batch 2 or batch 3 or something like that. Wow. So I believe in learning and almost all your courses. I tell you the truth, I would like to learn all of them because there's always something to take away. in your course, and you make them very practical. I believe in practical. I believe in practicing, and you will see the result. So it's not many people that that are having such skills. So for me, I believe in learning. I'm even doing I'm doing a PhD program again, and I believe in learning. Any little time I have, I will always be learning because I can write ebooks. I can do so many things by just learning, and one wouldn't stop learning because you wouldn't know anyone where you might be called upon to help, either helping people or, helping a company or helping individuals or solving one problem or the other, so I just have to keep learning.
Thank you very much, Dr. Charles. So we're going to start taking questions from people in the comment section based on what Dr. Charles has said so far or other questions you may have around attracting global opportunities in general. So please drop your question. You can use the raise hand button. If you're on Zoom, use the raise hand button and we will take your questions. Now, we have the first question from Abimbola Lawi. He said, Dr. Charles, did you have any doubts before you finally registered for the GOP, and how were your doubts cleared? That's our first question. Then she went on to say, what was the one or two things that convinced you that GOP will work? So she's trying to understand what made you decide that you needed to come on GOP, and what cleared your doubt, if you had any doubts in the first place.
Yeah, well, I said that I like research, and anything I want to do, I will go to the internet. There's nothing that you will ask for there. You won't see answers. One is seeing the answer. Another one is taking time to go through those answers and on watch and listen. There are quite a lot of your teachings out there. If you go to YouTube and type your name, you'll see some things you've delivered there. So I went, searching for some of your trainings and delivery. And I sat down and listened to them, and I was really convinced and satisfied that if I bend down and join in that GOP, by the time I finished the training, quite a lot. As at the time I was going to do the training, my banner was nothing to write home about. And I knew quite all right that I need to improve on that. I need to improve on my LinkedIn profile. I need writing a post is another thing altogether. A lot of people can't write a professional post. So by the time I went through one of your trainings, and I felt that look, I needed to register, and I'm so happy that I did, and the output was quite excellent. What
Thank
I
you very
kept starting
much. Please go ahead.
Another course coming up with, and will it fit into my schedule? So for sure, I will be learning a lot. And there's quite a lot you are bringing on board.
Thank you so much, Dr. Charles. And I'm really, one of the things I always tell even professionals that register for the GOP is, please, you need to also register for WFS, which is Workplace Foundational Skills Program. I said, because one is to help you attract opportunities. But in the opportunities you attract, you will need to be able to do work in a global standard way. You will need certain skills, digital skills, soft skills, to be able to do work in a global or international level. Like, you cannot be the top of your company and you are the person that is constantly saying, please, this good thing you people are doing, show me. Like, you cannot be the head of an organization and be incapacitated when it comes to the trends that are happening in terms of the workplace. So when he said he registered for WFS, I was just smiling because it makes him a better leader in his organization. Somebody will not come and be saying, we want to do cloud-based something. We're telling them what is cloud-based. We want to be able to say, of course, use Google Documents so I can be able to edit it from where you like, is not that person who is not informed about the digital tools he needs to carry out work with every other department. Like, is an informed leader, is an informed manager. So it is key. Especially if you're here, you register for GOP before, you're saying, after all, it is workplace foundational skills. Like the name suggests, it is not because it is foundational because it is simple. I'm just saying that it is foundational because it is a foundation for everybody. And you could be very experienced, but still lack foundational workplace skills. That's the funny thing, because your years of experience does not say that you learned. In fact, most of the time, professionals that have been working for several years lack foundational workplace skills because, again, the emergence of technology brought about the different demands or a different set of demands in the workplace. So what it means is you've been working in your field, in your area of technicality and expertise. You are a guru like Dr. Charles. Like he knows back and front of oil, what's it called, drilling and oil and gas and stuff. But is it possible that it needs to make a presentation right now that is going to be of international standard, that is going to have the right, imagery, and he's struggling? Yes. So what it means is he will be incapacitated as the MD of that company because he simply cannot present his work in the best way that showcases his company in the best light. So you might know the stuff, but your output is still low. Why? How you present something matters, especially in the global force. And where you are, you don't want to be that person that they will not have to be assigning. You have something in your head, though. Maybe an opportunity came to your company, you have it in your head. You can actually, you want to put it on a presentation on a Google site, but you don't know how to do it. You will now wait till the next morning and say, please, IT, help me do this thing. No, you don't want to be that kind of leader that cannot jump on a presentation slide, get it done, and go and represent your company. Now, another question that we have here would be around, so if, for instance, you took the GOP, you say you like to learn, right? That is established. But some people are here and they're saying, okay, we don't like to learn. Like, or rather, we are not learning entities like you. When you are taking the GOP, can you run us through your schedule? Like, how did you distribute the learning time? Like, how easy was it for you? What was the time that was required for you to complete the program? Like, how many hours did you have to commit per day, per week? Or basically run us through your learning time, because you did learn and implement. So how did you distribute your schedule to be able to then go through the GOP program?
The truth is that it didn't come easy. And I remember most of your trainings were in the evening and weekends. I think it's about either 2 hours or 3 hours, if you can remember. But it
Friday
was
night,
really,
yeah.
yeah. And
Yes,
you
7
wonder,
to 10 or 7 to 9, yeah.
you wonder that if you are in, you are in. So, so I had to make sure I close work early. And even while on the way, I will, of course, thank God for you can log in once you have the internet and you have your say, you can log in and start listening. And I quickly will get home. I won't even, be engaged in any other thing. I will get focused because you once you start, you are like a machine. You just get, and it's so attractive that once you start listening, you want to know more. You want to know more. You make it also interactive from time to time. So it was quite exciting for me, and I dedicated that time. It wasn't easy, I tell you. It lasted, if I can remember, for either 6 weeks or 8 weeks.
So 6 weeks.
Wasn't it?
It was 6 weeks.
Really big
6 weeks
time.
every Friday night. It was 6 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Every Friday night. And you had to first even watch the course. You had to watch the course before you even come to the workshop section. Yeah.
so it was, and sometimes before we come, we want to see what we have done. We submit all of our
Yeah.
work. It was quite interesting, and I enjoyed it. It wasn't easy, but one had to dedicate time. Like as I said, I believe in learning. It's very important for me to learn. And even when we finish, I sent you your link to my children. I asked them, please, if there's anywhere you need to go and learn. And the funny thing is that the world is evolving. Things are changing. There's a lot of new technology. You have AI, and AI was not there in the past. A lot of things
Yeah.
are changing. So people need to learn. And you are
I
always
agree.
abrasive of current events as well, because I see that clearly in your trainings. So people need to
Yeah.
know what is the in thing now that the world is looking at, which is what you focus a lot on. What is it that people want to see that will attract them? What is the world focusing on? What's our tomorrow? Like,
Yeah.
what will people do to be useful in the world of our tomorrow? That's how you really you blend with our practical steps, the world we're living in, with the future in all your
Yeah.
trainings, and that is what people really need to know, to package themselves and be well aligned to the work of the future.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to see if you have questions from Instagram, because some people are joining us on Instagram. If you have questions on Instagram, we've been speaking with Dr. Charles Ayoka, who is the MD of MSM Group. He's an oil and gas company, and he was able to get that opportunity through LinkedIn after after first getting clarity, building a profile, optimizing his LinkedIn, and writing 3 articles only. He got not just one, not two, like he got multiple opportunities that are top tier opportunities to be the MD of oil and gas company. And he narrowed down, and it was yes, both home and abroad. He narrowed down to the one he wanted to choose because he has an array of opportunities coming his way. And with over 32 years of experience, he still realized that still, even if I've done 24 years in shares, there are some opportunities that you cannot get just by saying you have experience alone. You have to put yourself out there, which is what he did. And he said it wasn't easy because he had to go to work, he would come back in the evening, not do anything, jump into my classes. And if you know me, I always say, if you do not like to work, don't join my programs because I will hold you, I will drag you by your neck for you to deliver on, or for you to fulfill your promise to yourself. Because in the actual sense of it, I always say, this is a promise to yourself. A promise to get to the apex is a promise to yourself. Forget that, oh, I'm teaching how to do it, and it is for you, it is a promise to you. Now, if you have more questions, you're on Zoom, please ask your questions before we are going to round off in the next 7 minutes. So we have a chance to take one more question, whether it is from Zoom or from this thing, before we ask Dr. Charles for his parting words and basically generally anything I did not ask him he would like to speak about. That is the last thing I'm going to ask him. But if you have a question, you are here or you're on this thing, please drop your question and we'll ask Dr. Charles for you. And if you're also wondering, as I'm waiting for your question, if you're wondering what the GOP is about, the GOP is called the Global Opportunities Program, where I teach my signature framework called the PPP framework, meaning profile building, platform optimization, and positioning. And this particular framework helps you, a professional who is experienced, attract global opportunities while you sleep. Dr. Charles has told you how he was like he had gotten opportunities, but he was still attracting opportunities, not because he was doing any other thing more, but because he built a profile that was doing the job, even while he was no longer searching. Like the profile still continued to do the job. And that is the amazing thing about that LinkedIn platform. It continues to attract opportunities for you while you are not doing anything actively anymore because of the algorithm. The algorithm favors people that deliver quality. But for you to deliver quality, you need to know exactly what quality means on that platform in terms of the kind of content you put out, not just dumping things. It is not like every other social media platform that it is the more the merrier. On LinkedIn, it is not the more the merrier. It is the more quality it is, the merrier it is, or the more it can deliver for you. So now, that is, and how can you get on GOP? We are currently enrolling the batch 9 of GOP. We'll start on March 7. And what do you need to do to get enrolled? First, you need to fill an application form. Yes, it is application based. You need to fill an application form, and we need to ascertain that you have the experience that is required for you to be able to use the framework I teach. After that, what we then do is we ask you to go ahead and enroll. The price of it is $268,750. That is $269 if you are not Nigerian. And after you enroll, what do you get? You get 2 courses, 1 ebook, 6 weeks of live workshop support, and 3 months of community support on WhatsApp. You need to study those 2 courses. It is not a live course. It's a pre-recorded course. You need to study it before March 7. I repeat, you need to study it before March 7 when we start our live workshop, because if you don't, by the time you come to the live workshop, it is a workshop. We are coming to execute what you have learned and listened to. So if you don't get it done, you are just going to be there confused and not understanding what exactly the others are doing. So for 6 weeks, and trust me, even if the time is not convenient for me, I put the time because I know people need to work. So we always do 7 to 9 p.m., depending on the kind of questions we get and how long it takes us for people to understand. And after 6 weeks or before 6 weeks, people have delivered and they are attracting global opportunities such as jobs. What's it called? Invitation to speak on this thing. Fun fact, doctor, I got interviewed on channels on Wednesday, right? On Wednesday, on channels, the Innovator Breakfast Show. And, these are the features that people pay for. Like, if I had to get featured on channels, and I would probably spend thousands of naira to get that spot on that show. Now, I remember I was going to another event on Monday, when that call came in. Like, they had reached out to someone in my network to get my contact to reach out to me. And of course, they had done their own work on LinkedIn. And when the person finally finished, oh, am I open to this? I said, oh, of course I'm open to this. And they reached, this was just this Wednesday. And it was, they were like, oh, I was like, what do you need? They were like, oh, maybe any picture, but we've already grabbed a picture of your, of the internet, of your profile. Like, oh, interesting. And they showed me the picture they had grabbed. I was like, okay. I said, I just needed to show up. Now, here's the interesting fact. I showed up, and during the course of the TV interview, I saw that our Skilled for Work Academy logo, like they had put it on their screen. And the guy asked me a very shocking question. He said, I hear they call you the Clarity King. How did that come about? And why is it? And I was like, oh my God, I was super shocked because again, like when I tell people that, like, look, you need to put yourself out there on LinkedIn in the way you want people to perceive you. People do not realize the gravity that it carries. I said, but the problem is many people don't even understand how to put together such a profile, such keywords to, like, not in my wildest dream would I have thought that somebody would ask me that question on an interview. Like, they did not prepare. Like, it was not a pre-planned interview. They called me on Tuesday. Wednesday, I was at the studio. They asked me no question, absolutely nothing prior to the program. And I just showed up there, and the guy was asking me, why are you called Clarity King? Like, it is the narrative. It is what I need you to know about me that I have curated on LinkedIn for my personal brand. That is the power. When I tell people that no single month goes by without me getting a reach out as a result of LinkedIn or on LinkedIn, people think I'm joking. In January, I think I got 2 or 3, I can't remember now. One was for a partnership, one was for a podcast in India, and one was for a speaking engagement. Now I got that feature. Like I always say, and by the way, in February, Dr. Charles, I was not positioning. I was dead deep in work because we've been having technical challenges with some of our softwares and things like that on our website. I was neck deep in trying to get us out of the mess, our technical mess at the back end. So I wasn't writing. If you know me, if I'm the one writing, you will know on my social media because again, I have content creators. If I'm the one, if you check out my content on LinkedIn throughout February, it's almost like it is not me. But then that thing still came. I needed to say this so that you understand that the more you tell yourself that I cannot invest in this, think about it. The money you will pay for GOP is equivalent to what I would have probably paid a TV. I don't even know, maybe it is more. I don't know how much it is. I'm just saying, maybe I don't know how much I would have had to pay for that feature. Maybe it is even more than the money you will pay for GOP. Maybe if anybody has an idea right here, do you understand? It is more than, so like for one opportunity alone, the money you pay for the program would, like, of course, if Dr. Charles is telling you he's the MD of an oil and gas, do the maths in your head. Think about his return on investment, what he paid for GOP and what he's able to earn. Think about it. Just stop, think about it. So your return on investment is what you should be calculating when you're thinking about these opportunities. And for me, the most important thing is not always about the direct cash. I always say, think again about Dr. Charles. Do you know the kind of places he is now rolling? The kind of network he now has based on his association with this group? You have no idea. Okay, the perks, the extra perks aside the money is always the icing on the cake for me. So Dr. Charles, we don't have any more questions. I'm going to then say, what are your parting words? What are your last words? Generally, anything you would like to say before you go, please. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Derisola. I want to state here that one of the things that really gave me a leeway to operate professionally and put in my best to ensure that MSM Oil and Gas will deliver on their target has to do with the chairman of MSM Group, which is Muazzam Marawani. He's a man that has a large heart dedicated to his cause. He believes in developing human beings and also helping our country, especially on our economy, to grow, especially in oil and gas. So he has that passion to help the government to at least bring an increase in our oil production and gas production as well. He's also a man that believes in helping the poor, the needy, and those just human development and capacity development. And we are aligned in our thoughts, and that gave me a very big opportunity to bring in my best tactics and practical ability to deliver whatever the plan of the company is. He has also given me a free hand to work, and I appreciate that, and that is helping me. What I also want to say is that I have a passion of training what you are doing, but on the oil and gas technical side, I set up what I call the Association of Drilling Professionals in Africa. Yeah, and I'm using that to deliver free courses. I was doing free courses once a month, just to bring up our young ones, because a lot of people don't know much about oil and gas. So I will be doing a lot of trainings under you so
I
that I can
bet
acquire.
that people are willing to learn because everybody hears oil and gas and they're like, oh, how do
Yeah,
I even
yeah,
start it? So
yeah.
please go ahead.
So I look forward to learning more of your trainings so that I can brushing
Set
up
up
my skill in delivering those
those
coaching
trainings.
for those that are interested in oil and gas, especially in drilling and other areas that has to do with oil and gas. I've been doing it, but I need to take it to the next
To
level.
structure it and deliver it in
Yeah.
a very
So I
consistent.
love what you are doing because it's imparting knowledge, it's developing people, it's allowing people to multi-skill, and it's global in nature. Even though I've worked outside Nigeria before, I came back, I had an opportunity again to go about. I choose to be in Nigeria to, rise to my highest level in oil and gas, which is what I'm doing currently, and I'm happy about it. But I appreciate your work, and I know a lot of people, wherever they are, really required to learn under your feet. Because and what I like so much about your training is they are wide. You're not self-centered. Your training is not focused only on one area. It's a lot global in nature, both in writing skills, speaking skill, presentation, posting, LinkedIn, social media, just name it. You seem to be widening your area of coverage in your
Yeah,
training. And
because
I believe
again, the
once
mandate
one
is in
finishes,
demand skills. Yeah, it is in
yeah,
demand workplace skills that we
yeah, yeah, yeah,
enter on.
yeah,
So whatever
yeah,
it is that is in demand, that is going to help you deliver in
yeah,
a global standard, we bring it to you. Yeah.
yeah. So I appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Dr. Charles, for spending the last 1 hour with us and for being early to this day. And thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I know time is one of your scarcest resources. For you to have been here today, thank you so much. And we are looking forward to you structuring that oil and gas. Like I always say, you get to a stage in life that money is the only determinant of what you do next. And that is probably like where you are right now, like in terms of you are fulfilled. You have gotten to the apex of your career. It is time for you to raise another generation of people who can, push that industry forward. So, like, I
Yeah.
would say thank you so much for thinking in that manner, because I always tell people, there's something that I hear people say. They will say, oh, anybody that is teaching you or that is giving you training, that is saying come and pay for a training, that nobody, there was something I saw online, said nobody teaches you how they make money. As that was exactly what the person that it is a lie, that if you are somebody is saying come and learn how to do something that I have done and making money from, that it is because they want to use your money, that it is your money that you're using to feed, that nobody will be teaching you, giving you secrets on how they can be successful. And I just smiled because, again, one of the first things I address on my program is mindset. I said, look, maybe the person needs to join my program. So at least let's fix your mindset first, because the
Yeah.
truth is people should realize that we are different stages in life. And some people get to that level of fulfillment faster than the others, meaning that it's not about age. You could be 35, you could be 30, and you've done a lot in your life that you have gotten to that fulfillment level. That money is no longer the driver of your next actions, because you now want to say, oh, I've gotten to that level and I need to ensure that we are now building the ecosystem. We are building the ecosystem that we can ensure that what we suffer to do, some people are having it easier. And that I say you've gotten to that level of fulfillment for you. Like it is now about that Maslow's hierarchy theory where there's the foundation is basic, just eat and that kind of thing. Then you get to the fulfillment level where the only thing on your mind is giving back to the people that are below you. So I'm excited. Please let us know when you finally are ready to, put the entire thing together and all that as in. So let's see how we can come in to be of assistance. Thank you so much, Dr. Charles. Everyone that's joined us today, whether it is on Instagram, on Zoom, please go ahead and self-develop. Invest in your development, time and money. You would need it. You would need it. Nobody grows beyond what they have in their head. It is absolutely impossible. The level of knowledge and information and network you have access to determines how far you go. So do not think that people that are investing their time and money are not smart. They are very smart because they know these three things. The level of the information, knowledge, skills, and network you possess will determine how far you go. On that note, thank you very much. And everybody, I'm going to unmute you to say thank you so much to Dr. Charles.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, so you can unmute yourself now. Please tell Dr. Charles, thank you. Thank you
so much, Dr. Charles. We are so grateful for your kind words. God really bless you. We look up to seeing you.
Have a pleasant evening and have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.
Bye.